Today we're going to talk about Colin and Mary, a couple of young and sprightly 80-something-year-old farmers that have just received 2 fines from the Victorian Government for $814 each for denying access to VICGRID.
And you won't believe the details until you hear them.
3, 2, 1.
So before we begin, a huge shout out to Anita Donlan at Let's Get Rural, who's working with and helping so many communities in Victoria at present, be it with regard to renewables or drought, fire, whatever strikes the community. We're going to share her story today that she's done with Colin and Mary. But please, if you want to help these people, please get onto the free conference call with Let's Get Rural every Monday night, where farmers and city folk share a chat about what is happening in our great state. It's worthwhile, isn't it?
Yeah,
getting on that call. You can do so at www.1000paddocks.org, and you'll find a link to the conference call. It's 8 p.m. every Monday night, Victorian time. So we did a little video on Colin and Mary earlier in the year. It went pretty well, actually.
Yeah. He's a superstar.
He is a superstar.
Yeah, Andy's wife is.
Yeah, Mary is as well. We didn't feature her, but we've met her since.
We saw her at the
lunch with the farmers.
Lunch.
Yeah, and saw her speak there. But the way Colin handled that day was great. You know, he told them why. He was very clear and precise. And in case you missed it, here's a little recap.
And I'll just confirm again, you are Colin Fenton, the landowner.
You need to see some ID?
No, you don't have to show it. I believe you. Thank you. And I'm just going to ask you are going to allow access today?
No, we're not going to allow access today.
No, that's okay. Do you want to provide any reason why?
Yes. I think we need to go on a history lesson here. The property that's over my shoulder, can everyone hear me? No. The property over my shoulder here was purchased 102 years ago by my late father, who was 19 at the time. He'd lost his father, and this was his first property he ever bought. Interesting that it was cleared with an axe. I guess one of the big issues we've got here is that if you were to go ahead and do what you want to do, this property here will become unviable in the sense, you're standing right in the path of where the easement is, so therefore we can't get access to our farm because that's the only occupation crossing we've got. So that's fine. We go down the channel a bit further, we get Gold Murray Water and spend $100,000 and put another occupation crossing in. Then we go to Vic Roads to get access out on the Bitumen Road, so that's another heap of money. And then we're going to finish up with a loosen stand, which costs hundreds of thousands, well, not thousands of dollars, but hundreds of dollars, the minimum to establish, and time. It takes about 4 years from when you laser a paddock till the loosen's at its peak production. So the loss of production now.
So as you can see, Colin was polite, respectful and concise with his reasoning on that day. And it all seemed fairly amicable, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they still gave the threats, but...
I mean, he was actually... The guy at the gate, the other guy, seemed like an all right guy.
Yeah, well, it's the same guy.
Considering...
Yeah, considering how some of the others went. But this week, he received not 1, but 2 fines to the value of $814 each in the mail.
Mm.
So Anita's had a chat with Colin and Mary about the fines. Let's have a look at that and then we can discuss.
Yep.
Before you meet Colin and Mary Fenton in this video, I just wanted to let you know a few things. Number 1, they're in their 80s. Number 2, they're generational farmers. Number 3, what they have done for the agribusiness sector and the communities around Victoria over their years is just incredible. But I also want to add that on a property, on a farm, biosecurity is taken very, very seriously. It's actually a legal requirement to do so. I would also like to add that Colin and Mary breed cattle, and on the properties that they were denying access to, they had cows and calves. Have a listen to what Colin and Mary have to say. Thank you.
Well, let me clarify a couple of things before we start. I'm not Ben Carroll. I'm not Jacinta Allen, and I'm definitely not Daniel Andrews. I'm Colin Fenton, a mature farmer from Dingwall, who have just had the misfortune to be delivered 2 infringement notices from the state government for nearly $1,000 on each case. And I think this has been a good opportunity to make people aware of what's actually happening in this sad state we live in.
Conversations first started back in the 1st of December 2025 about the actual location of the line, the transmission line. So anyone who's watching this who doesn't understand, we're talking compulsory acquisition, transmission lines coming through that the Victorian Government would like to just ram through people's properties. But this is a little bit more about, we just don't want them. That's a little bit more in depth, but this is a little bit of a different story, isn't it, Colin and Mary? Because you had conversations with them on the 1st of December 2025 to say, look, the location isn't quite right.
Yeah, that's correct. Being a person who wants to keep on top of things, I've attended every opportunity that we've had to discuss these issues with the authority. And what's actually transpired, this particular line through 2 properties has been altered 3 times. And when we were, the last time we had an altercation with VICGRID was when they went to enter our property, and I refused them entry simply because what was the point of going through our property to do this EES, which is the environmental assessment statement? There's fairly large pieces of land, so what's the point of going through when even right at this very moment the power line hasn't been drawn on a map where it's actually going to take place? And further to that, we're still in a situation where we're still having conversations as to the way forward, how we might look at this into the future. And I think it's very interesting from memory the date that the summons or the infringement notice was written on the 23rd of April. And here we are on the 4th of August. I've got a letter from my new liaison officer wanting to sit down and have a conversation. Now, the conversation hasn't reached a stalling point. I've kept my end of the bargain up, but it appears to me that with VICGRID and the authority that's running it, their left hand doesn't know what their right hand's doing. And looking at this infringement notice, if you read the actual way they go about it, it's not even a correct infringement notice. It talks all about car traffic and how you can have your car registration taken off you and arrest you and do all sorts of things, which has got absolutely nothing to do with the power lines whatsoever. So the people that are running these legal setup obviously are doing desktop studies in Melbourne, and the community out in the bush out here, we're not going to accept this sort of stuff because there's a whole heap of people in the same boat.
Well said, Colin. Mary, do you want to add anything to this?
I think that the thing that they have successfully done in families in the district community is they've created a lot of mental unwellness and friction between children and their mother and fathers, and between husband and wives and that sort of thing. And I think that's not considered in any shape or form with the paperwork because they send out, because it's just so unfeeling, and you're made to feel as if you're not even a human being. They just walk over you.
Thank you, Mary and Colin.
Sad, isn't it, mate?
Pathetic. Government pathetic.
So Mary and Colin spoke at the recent lunch with farmers, and their stories they shared showed just how much they care and how much passion they have for their community. It's the first and foremost in their thinking. Mary talked about supplying canned food to the region through tough times, something she organised with wholesalers and producers, had delivered to her house and then went and delivered in the region, and something she's done for decades. It's not something she just started doing or did for one drought.
Yeah, she's a good soul.
Ah, absolutely.
Very good soul.
Yep. And these people are the pillars of that community. No ifs, buts, or maybes, and they're getting treated like this.
And you got these idiots coming in and just try to railroad them, mate, and just roll right over them.
Yep. mean, she talked about learning how to drive semi-trailers. She talked about supporting Colin on the farm and caring for the land. These are salt of the earth, hard as they come farmers who have seen good times and survived the tough times. They're not, millionaire farmers.
No.
Let's put it that way. And now in their 80s, they're being subjected to this snot from our government.
They should be in the twilight of their years and just like enjoying themselves.
Exactly. Living
And
on
just-
their land,
Yeah.
enjoying their cattle.
Yeah, but it's just shit.
It is,
isn't
mate.
Just shit.
It makes me that mad. So Colin's been talking to the Victorian Government representatives, either VICGRID or AEMO, whoever it was 18 months ago. But over the past 19 months, those discussions have centred around the location being not in the right place on the property, rather than he didn't want them on his property at all. He just wanted them to place it in the property that won't cut his waterway and won't impact on his farm as much.
Which seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, he's not saying I don't want it. He's saying, can we just have it in a different location? When he did refuse access in April this year, it was because there was no map showing where the lines were going to be.
Yep.
Therefore, the environmental effects study would have been a waste of time as they didn't know what part of the farm would contain the towers. So one of two things has happened here, mate. Either he hasn't been given the information
Yep.
and they have, in which case, why hasn't he seen it? Or they're hiding things,
Yeah,
and they're hiding things from him, mate.
it's very deceiving.
It is.
All the stuff they're coming up with. It's like, why wouldn't you show him a map or a schedule of where this bloody line's running? Or perhaps what they're doing is they're going from 50 kilometres that way to 50 kilometres that way to try and find the best route or the weakest link to get through. Maybe that's why they're doing it.
Maybe. Or maybe they didn't have a map and they have no idea and the left hand isn't talking to the right hand. The point is, his cattle are just calved and there is biosecurity required at the
You
farm.
shouldn't have people traipsing across your land if that's happening.
Exactly right. So Colin has attended every discussion, every chat with the regulators. In fact, those discussions are ongoing and one is scheduled to be held shortly. As he says, conversation is ongoing. It's not about him blocking the project altogether, but about where it could be best situated if the lines are to progress without it impacting on his land and his livelihood. Surely that's fair enough.
It sounds really, really, really good. It's like if I had a problem with somebody and this is what they were coming back with, I'd be like, now I can talk to this guy. This guy is somebody I can actually genuinely discuss with.
He's reasonable.
And actually come up with a plan.
Yep.
But obviously, these guys are a bunch of morons and can't come up with anything.
One of them's going, here's your fine, and the other one's going, come and have a chat with us. Well, that's how animosity starts, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the fines he received talked to traffic and car registration and mentioned he could have his car deregistered or he could be arrested.
For what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No idea. It shows the left hand and the right hand have gone off on their own separate bodies and they're no longer together.
Yep.
They've had a break.
They're hitting them from both sides, but they actually have nothing really.
Yep.
It's
Exactly right.
the fines themselves sound very, very unjust.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Mary hits the nail on the head. The mental stress and anguish this is causing all over Victoria and Australia is huge. Strained relationships between parents and kids, we've heard that in New South Wales. Husbands and wives, we've seen that firsthand. Neighbours and communities are rife. And like I said, we have seen this firsthand, mate, and it's ugly. People that were friends for decades are no longer talking. Won't even shake hands. Family members are now divided.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a big shame.
So thank God Anita's there to help with the mental pressures. And Mary sums it up best at the end. You're made to feel as if you're not even a human being. That's how Mary and Colin feel.
Yeah.
And it's all because they've been mistreated by the government.
Yeah. To them, they're just numbers.
Yep.
Numbers that need to get rid of.
Yep.
That's all they are.
Exactly right. It's not in Colin's nature, having met him, but maybe he won't be so polite next time that they stand the gate, mate. Maybe he'll be a little more abrupt. And you can't blame him.
Yeah, you can't fault him. He's been so nice up to this point.
Yep. And as he said, they won't accept it.
No.
Simple as that. And why should they?
No.
They've done the right thing up to now.
Yep.
All right, everyone, let us know what you think. That's Colin and Mary's story, and there's plenty of stories. 12 farmers have now received fines. Some of them who were right in the middle of lambing and had written to the Ombudsman who had said, all right, well, we'll let it go this time, and yet people still showed up and they've still received fines.
Yep.
It's a joke.
So the ombudsman obviously not speaking to
No.
the people that are giving it the fines.
No
So
idea.
it's like,
It's a joke.
yeah, it's a
It
joke.
is,
A
yep.
full-on joke.
Let us know what you think, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
So yeah, that's pathetic.
It is.
Seriously pathetic.
It is. Super annoying, mate.